Hey guys, we're back. I'm gonna try to get all of these blankets done, I think, since we do have a pretty solid original set of line art. Now, I don't know how much detail I want to do on these guys, or if I want to leave the detail off for now and then come back and do more detail, so we're gonna see. I'm gonna feel it out in terms of how I feel about it. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. It might be a little bit high. Also, I hope you guys don't mind the spooky music. I was like, oh, you know, Halloween time, why not? I do have something spooky I could work on, but I don't know how well it's gonna come out on stream. And I do want to get these done before the end of the year. So, we'll see. Hi Clay, welcome to the stream. Oh shit, was I doing that on the color? Oh well, that's fine. I'll just flip it over. Yeah, I did that on the wrong one. Okay. Oopsie. I think that's fine. I think my other one was the reference I'm using here was a little bit off. So that gets the jumping pad out of the way. And then of course we just go ahead, do that, select area, set that to 2. And then I think I'll use the same red I was using before. There we go. So now, if we were to turn one of the English saddles on, that's supposed to look like it fits. I need to make it just a touch bigger. Because the idea is it's supposed to go and cover all of the saddle. So this is the universal saddle. This is the jumping saddle. Maybe... So it does cover the jumping saddle, but maybe I'll just tug it in close to the universal so it still feels good. And then the dressage saddle, which it's still just barely covering, but it doesn't really fit that one. And the racing one doesn't really matter. Dressage saddle maybe should bump up a little bit closer. I feel like the seat of that needs to match more closely to like where the others are sitting. Hopefully that's fine. I don't want to move it too much because I know I had very specific placements I was trying to put each of the saddles in. But I feel like they should relatively sit in the same location on the horses. So... Okay. So there's the jumping pad. Now technically normally a jumping pad would be a lot shorter, but I'm trying to keep a lot of this stuff set up in such a way that it hopefully could be kind of universal. So the difference between the jumping pad versus the dressage pad is going to be more of a matter of size, or not size, but like location on where it falls. At least that was my original idea. I just realized those two are backwards. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably come back to these eventually and make it so like they can have unique features about them. Like, I want to have the ability to design different ideas with attack. Like, I want to have like different like stitching and stuff. So like different edges to it, or different quilting style or whatever. Like how sometimes you have stuff that's like just rectangles versus like more diagonal looking ones that look like more like triangles. Not triangles, diamonds. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of. And then you could also have stuff like logos or like seasonal things or patterns. I think all of that would be super cute. But it's definitely more of a long-term goal. Something I can work on once I get the bare bones stuff done. Sometimes I wish I could drag this thing into my lap like my old one. Right now I have it on an arm, but the arm doesn't go any lower because it's on my desk. So it's a different position than what I'm used to drawing with. I've been debating getting a smaller drawing tablet that's more kind of like an iPad size, but an actual drawing tablet, not an iPad, because I don't really want an iPad. Although I think you can use Clip on an iPad, which is nice. Okay, so let's compare you now. So yeah, this one doesn't really fit with that, but it does fit with the dressage saddle, which is the point. So why is it not? that'll work okay. Oops. So there's the dressage saddle done. And then we got a racing pad we can do. The racing one, I don't know how much I'd actually use this in terms of like actually making artwork and everything, like anything past concept art for this. Because I don't have any intention of doing much with racing to start with. I want a certain part of the world to be involving a lot of racing, both harness and flat racing. But when it comes to the actual creation of stuff, I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to care about to start with, because, like, realistically speaking, unless I'm doing something that's like a short animated film or something, I don't have much of a reason to do 3D of this. I mostly have the concept of the racing stuff to be there as like, hey, this exists in the world and I have references of it. But I don't plan on making a racing game because unless it's like a story-based thing, but not like a racing simulator, since Rival Stars already exists, and there's no way I'd be able to compete with that. Rival Stars is already a really good game. So, unless I have a very specific reason to do this, I'm probably not gonna turn the racing tack right away into English tack. I might someday consider doing different types of English tack, since that means that is one type that I'm not going to be working with right away. But I also don't plan on like making most of the other stuff, like the different Western saddles I'm going to show you guys. I'm not planning on making those all right away either. If I do 3D of that, it's going to be the universal one, which is the easiest. Anything like specialized, like a barrel racing saddle or a ranch saddle, are all going to be stuff that I make when I start like actually doing more specialized tack. But I want to offer as much English tack as I do Western, and while I do enjoy endurance, most of the time endurance tack just uses English or Western, so I'm not going to offer as much endurance specialty tack unless it's like stuff that's already used normally. I'm just kind of sort of doing the equivalent of branding it as endurance just because it's more commonly used. But outside of that, the endurance stuff is going to be a lot less just because of how much of it... Is that still... Maybe I should just make this shorter, actually. It just feels like it's a little too long. I'm just spinning this thing right round. But yeah, the endurance stuff, I still want to have unique tack for, but I don't want it to be as much as the English and Western, since it's not nearly as prevalent, especially due to the fact that they just use English and Western as it is. So I want there to be options, but I don't need it to be, like, as much. I think that makes sense. I don't want it left behind, but it's kind of more of a specialty thing, whereas, like, English and Western are very, like, heavily used. English starting out, of course, as a military thing, and then eventually evolving into what it is in modern times, both in the real world and then Gaia, which mirrors it. And then there's gonna be Western, which obviously is ranch work, which then evolves into other things such as like barrel racing, trail riding, etc. Not to say you can't use English for trail riding, of course you can. But Western is a good one for it. Okay, that feels a lot less extreme than what I had before, and I kind of like it now. That looks a lot better. Okay, how does that look with the racing saddle real quick? Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, everything matches up to where it's supposed to be, so. Yeah, that works fine. I don't know what you call that. I'm just gonna call it like maybe call it the small pad. And we'll just make it like a slightly darker red section. Just because I don't know what else to call it. When I do the darker sections, I might eventually replace that kind of stuff with what do you call it? Like multiply, like black multiply or something. Maybe not black specifically, but some sort of multiply. Just to make it so it's like an automatic shadow instead of like me hand picking a specific color for that. Okay, there we go. So the next ones we got here are the Western saddles, which the Western show saddle is going to be identical to the Universal. I might actually... Well, no, I did give it line art, so I guess I'll make the Western show saddle its own thing. But technically speaking, that's literally just going to end up being the same, so it's not... I'll probably have to delete this, but it's fine. And we're gonna have a barrel racing one, and we're gonna have a ranch one. So as you can see if you look closely at these guys, so these two of course are the exact same, it just the difference is this one is set up for show. So the way that the show saddle would look, it'd always be a lot fancier. It has the option of having engraved metal on it and stuff, so it's only different because of the metal. Everything else is identical to it. It's very much just a general universal saddle. Then the barrel racing one is built for really good stability. So you can see that these two have only the one girth. These other two have two girths on them. And this one has a super deep seat, high cantle and horn. This one's similar, but it's a little bit, like, I chose different ways that the leather looks. It has the, God, I can't remember what they're called at the top of my head, but the little ties here are also included on this saddle. The fenders do change a little bit from saddle to saddle, so this one just has very general wide fenders. The barrel racing one has very thin fenders. The stirrups are all the same, similar to what I did with the English saddles. And then this one also has pretty wide ones. I think, yeah, it looks like I did a different look on those, so... Basically, I tried to make things feel unique, so there would be a reason why they exist, rather than just generic saddle 1, generic saddle 2. I hate when people do that. Like, it's one thing if you're working with something like a shirt. Like, you can't really do a lot of fancy stuff with a shirt other than, like, the neckline and how close it is to the body. Like, yes, it's clothing. It's just a generic shirt. And most of the stuff with a shirt, besides what I just mentioned, it comes down to, like, extra stuff you do with it. Like, what color is it? What design is on it and stuff, you know? So it's like, that kind of stuff makes sense. Saddles are a utility item. They're not just for show. Like, you can do fancy stuff with them, visually speaking, but that only requires one model. It doesn't require having multiple models. I want to offer variety that connects to utility, even if it's not a gameplay feature, because I don't know if I can do that, but... yeah, I want to do stuff that feels unique. I want to make saddles that actually showcase the different types of, horse riding and stuff. So that's what's going on here. All right, so we're going to copy these guys. Again, the one with the Show saddle is not gonna be any different from... The show saddle won't be any different from the standard Western saddle, so I'm just gonna start by getting these guys. I have to swap to that to get you to move? Yeah, I do. Oh, that's weird. Did I position it wrong on the horse or something? Why does the horse not match up? Saddle matches, but the horse doesn't. That's weird. That's super weird. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize I had that not matched up on the horse. That's so weird. Okay. Well, anyways, those two are now lined up together. So... This is the ranch one. If I don't label these, I will forget because I ripped off the thing. This is the barrel. I'm not really used to looking at these. This one is the show one. I know this is the universal one because the other two had like the deeper seats and stuff. I'm pretty sure just because of like the difference with how I drew this one, I could tell this is a ranch one, this is barrel, because the barrel one's supposed to be like streamlined, and the ranch one is supposed to be utility. So it's like, I probably realistically could, but I don't want to make a mistake. So I'm gonna be careful. Okay, and then we're gonna grab all of these guys and we're gonna resize them up to the horse, because like I said with the English ones, I actually kind of like how my old line art came out, so we're actually gonna reuse it. Now, I am a little bit nervous about getting this properly positioned on the horse, and I know one of the things I talked to my friend about with placement was the girths are a little bit far back, but that can be something that can vary from horse to horse, so I will be probably adjusting the girths at some point, most likely off-screen. Goodness, I think that's about right. So now I just need to line everybody up. So yeah, I'll probably adjust the girths off screen because I don't remember how I decided where they went, and I know the Western ones, they're gonna be a lot better at giving me advice on those guys. So let's see here. I want these all, like, roughly lined up together. I think that's close enough on that one, and then for these two, I think I just need to scoot these ones forward just a nudge so it lines up better. Yeah, I think that's probably close enough. Okay. So this one's going to use all the same line art as the show, vice versa, just the show is going to get a little bit of extra stuff with having the little metal pieces. And then I feel like all of these are a little... Did I nudge that again? Please don't tell me I nudged that by accident. No, I think those are still lined up. Okay. I think all of these are a little bit low on the horse, so I'm gonna just push them up so they're not riding the back so bad. Most, like, referring to the new version of them. New horseback. New base, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, so we'll start with the universal then. And the girth, I'll just make it move down further, because obviously different type of horse I use, so that's fine. Alrighty, let's see how this goes. So... I'm trying to like make it feel a little bit more natural with like more divots and stuff than I did with my original vector line art. So I'm hoping it'll come across when I'm drawing this. Because once when I end up translating it to 3D, that's going to be the toughest part, if I translate any of it to 3D, which I hope I do. Because that's where I'm actually going to have to start figuring out, like, how does this work in three-dimensional space? And, like, I actually do technically own some saddles I inherited from a family member, but I still haven't seen the damn things. They're in a shed somewhere, which is frustrating. But they're also pretty old, so we've been just thinking about selling them and buying a new one. Like, brand new one. But also, I'm not riding yet, so I'm not too picky about it. And buying tack is super expensive anyways, so yeah. You also gotta be careful with buying a saddle, because you want to make sure that it's gonna be something that's gonna fit the horse you're gonna ride, too. Like, obviously, to some extent, you know, there's a lot of saddles that can fit most horses, but, like, I don't know what kind of horses I'm gonna end up riding. I don't know if I'm ever gonna actually... I want to own a horse, but, you know, I don't know. I might have to get something that's wider or narrower, and who knows, you know. It's not something I'm rushing to get right now, so I'm not too fussy about it. Oh, I just realized I can't see what's underneath this. I do have the vector version of this, but I might have to mildly guess at some parts. Not fun. Don't like having to guess at my own line art. I think that's okay. Come out a little bit lower than I would have liked, though. Oh, oops, I didn't mean to get you in there, too. Okay, so this is gonna be the difficult part, because I gotta recreate this little thing down here without actually seeing it. That's fun. helps a little. So I at least have like this basic idea of where this thing's gonna come back down at. Kind of works, kind of. Clay. Yeah, I'm not getting anything on my end, so unfortunate it's happening, but I hope it's gonna behave for you. There we go, merge those guys down. Okay, and we now need... I want this thing to be perfect, but like it doesn't have to be. I think that's pretty good though. Okay, so usually it's not actually a circle. It's, yeah, it's actually metal in the middle and sometimes leather. So it still does come out from inside of it, but it's usually got a little leather around it and then metal in the center. So I'll have to fix these. We're going to have to call this one a fender, because it is a western saddle instead now. I hate when it zooms out like that. It's like... what happens, I think I've explained this before, what happens is I try to swap to like my brush or something, but my pen happened to still be on the thing usually, so it doesn't actually swap to the zoom tool, and then I move as if, or it doesn't swap to whatever I was on, so it's, I'll be on zoom, I try to swap to my brush, and then I do this to use my brush, but because it's on zoom, it does this. I fucking hate it. And it's because when my pen is touching the tablet, it doesn't want to swap to the next tool. I guess that kind of makes sense, but it's still kind of annoying. What you gonna do? Okay, so... we're not gonna do metal stirrups to start with. We're just gonna do like a generic stirrup bottom on these guys, I think. Actually, you know what? I should probably look at some of these guys and see, because I think usually when the fender's sitting normal, it sits sideways instead of like turned in. Okay, not every single time, but most of the time. If it's on the horse... yeah, it usually is a little tilted when it's on the horse, because it doesn't fit. It doesn't always sit perfectly sideways. So what I have isn't technically wrong. Okay, well, I think for now, I'll just keep this. And if I need to make adjustments to the stirrups specifically, I can do so later. There we go. That's okay. Alrighty, next step is the girth. And again, I think just like before, what we want to do is we're gonna try to create this girth as if there is... oh, you know what? Hold on, I need a duplicate though of that one piece of metal. That's what I wanted. Okay, so the girth now. This baby's gonna go up and then back down. Same deal here. Like so. And then just to try and get this as hopefully accurate as possible, I'm just gonna attempt to flip it. Okay. Not bad. I feel like this doesn't need to be as thin as it is. But it's probably fine. I don't want to get too detailed with the girth. I can do so later. I am debating though if it should be lowered down or if it should be that high. I think it just kind of depends on what you're doing. Yeah, some are like really low and some of them are really high. So I don't think this is bad. Debating if there's supposed to be metal here though, because I think if it is metal there, I think normally it looks a little different. Yeah. Okay, I might have to come back to this because I think this part here is supposed to be a buckle and it's supposed to have stuff underneath it so it protects the metal from the horse's skin. So one I had labeled as my main reference for this had it where there was leather underneath here where it had like 2 different places you could do a girth strap at. This one doesn't have it like that. I'm guessing because it's assuming that you'd have the blanket there. Most of these have leather. It attaches up here instead. if I left myself notes on why I picked the things I did, because I know this is connected to how the rigging is set up. Yeah, this one has a similar thing. Okay, I might change the girth on this one, because I think I want to stick to the like the... Frick, what was it called? In-saddle or in whatever rigging. In-skirt rigging. In-skirt rigging. I want to stick to in-skirt rigging. But I think this is like the girth I would prefer using, so you kind of have your circle here, and then basically the way it goes is you have leather that comes out like so, but then it also loops around itself, and this is how I think I remember doing my saddle girth when I was riding ages ago. What I would like to do is have it so that you can very easily replace like the texture with it being different textures depending on if it's a leather one or a like cotton or whatever girth. If I can do that, I think that would be nice. So something like this I would like, I think, to possibly do. This looks so shitty. Just gonna look up Western Curse really quick. Yeah, because a lot of these are leather. I could just leave the girth alone and just deal with it later, too. Apparently it's called mohair. I did not know that. Oh, these ones are referred to as cinches. Oh, okay. Apparently I should name this the cinch because that's what you call it on a Western saddle. I can't remember if I actually called it that. Nope, that's not how you spell cinch. I can't remember if you actually called, I can't remember if we called it that when I was riding or not. It's been ages. Okay, I need to check and see if I got like the placement stuff correct too now. Cause I'm like, oh, did I have it too far forward? These ones might be too far forward, but I don't know. So I'm gonna be right back, guys. Take a quick break. Okay, I am technically back, but unfortunately I might have to end the stream there because my insides are not agreeing with me again. So I just don't know if I should be trying to continue stream because I might have to stop again. So I would like to continue, but I think it might be a better idea to just pause and then try again later. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to stream more this week. I still plan on doing Sunday, but I want to get more progress on these saddles and maybe stream some other art. I don't know yet. For sure the saddles though. So anyways, I don't want to really risk having to pause stream again, unfortunately. We did make it a little over an hour though, which is pretty good. I would have liked to at least make it to 2 hours, but yeah, like I said, I don't know if I want to take any chances with my body acting up, so unfortunately I'm gonna just call it here, I think, and I'll see when I can figure out another stream. Hopefully I can make it again on Thursday, but we'll see. So if I do any streaming outside of my normal expected hours, obviously it'll be on the Discord. So but yeah, I want to get these saddles done. I want to get this tack done so I can finally like start playing around with it. I'm really excited. But thank you guys for joining me. Don't feel pressure to continue if you're not up for it. Your health isn't worth it for a little extra viewing time. Yeah, no, like these streams are really just for me to do, you know, fun stuff and share it with folks. So I definitely don't want to be putting myself at risk for like upsetting my stomach further just to try and squeeze out a couple more drawings on stream. I don't know if I'll work on these on my own time or not. We'll see. If I do, I will obviously show you guys next time. So we'll see where stuff lands. But I'm excited to continue doing some Halloween streams. I might be streaming on Halloween itself on the 31st because I took that day off, so we'll see. No promises, but I got some ideas for something like at least a short, cute little stream if I don't do something longer. So I want to try and stream on Thursday, but it's probably gonna be a gaming stream instead of a art stream. So that's why I'm kind of thinking about maybe trying to squeeze in art streams at a different point next week. So, but we shall see. But I will still plan for the normal time, 6 p.m. CST on Thursday. I might stream earlier as well. We'll see where things land. So, otherwise, I'll do my Sunday streaming this weekend, and I will see you guys then. So, bye. Thanks for joining me.